It is Wednesday, September 8th, and this is Jury Duty, a Big Brother podcast. Okay. Lots of stuff to unpack in this one. Let's do the fun stuff first. So there was a veto played.
Yeah.
In case we forget. Alyssa won. Woohoo. Good for her. She takes herself off. And then obviously Tiffany puts up Claire. But before that, we saw Zingbot. Okay. That was fun. Who cares?
I feel like Zingbot's just been like more and more disappointing as the seasons go on. They're never as funny as I want them to be.
I like the Hannah
meaner than
one.
I want them to be. The Hannah one was fine.
Yeah, the not Hannah one, I liked.
Some of them were silly. I just feel like a lot of them get like a lot meaner than they need to be.
I
honestly liked Alyssa's. The fact that she was just like too dumb to realize that she was being called dumb.
Which is like so not fair because like
nice.
I think she said smart things. Like I didn't ever view her as dumb.
I don't think she's dumb. I think it was just the way that it all played out with everybody being like, no, you're smart. Don't worry. Like,
no, you're good. You're good.
What? Dim? What?
Dim? What does that mean?
I feel like there were better jokes out there than the ones they got too. Like DF, what a lazy, lame. Like they could have come up with something better for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a slew of funny content. Like,
well, the Ozburn, I mean, that deserves something. I mean, that was,
that was funny.
That was fun. We enjoyed that. What else? I was going to say something like really snarky about the whole this Alza singing thing, and I was like, okay, I don't really need this. But then as it went on, I was here for it.
It's just like there's so much of that that's been on the feeds. Like I was so excited when Big Blue Couch made an appearance in the edit. I was like, finally! Like it's like they do a talk show every single night and Ozzo sings their theme song. It's very silly.
Oh, see, that's fun, and I didn't know anything about that. Yeah. I like that. I would watch the talk show. This is also falls under the umbrella of like things I feel like you should have told us.
How was Big Blue Couch going to come up in conversation?
By bringing it up. Like, what do you mean? I even enjoyed like some of these side things that went with that too. Like some of the other songs, as they're saying, were going to be featured on the soundtrack with like "But First" by JCM and like the something microphone or something like that. Like really fun. Who cares about all that? We know what we have to talk about.
Yeah.
It was a tough watch. I've teared up at Big Brother before. But like I was like sobbing over this. And most of it I had already seen on the feeds, but it was like Claire's DR that like way sent me over the edge. Because like even as a Black person, I have felt conflicted on this whole thing, but like it is important to us to see us win for once, especially a show that has had like not the best history before. So for somebody like Claire to say what she said and the fact that like she got it,
right,
yeah,
and respects it, even though that now she kind of knows that like her game is over. She handled it far better than I would have ever expected anyone to.
No. Oh yeah, she handled it. I thought so gracefully, and she was 100% right in her DR that like other people wouldn't understand. Sadly, that's the place that we're in. A lot of other people probably wouldn't understand, but she does. And I thought that she really handled that whole thing so well. It was heartbreaking, and it's so heartbreaking because she knows how much I think Tiffany loves her and how much Tiffany would love to ride to the end with her. But that's what sucks about it, is that it's not really. It is a game move, but in other ways, it's not really a game move. It's something bigger than that. But I don't know. The whole thing was just very, very, very emotional for sure.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to what we were touching on last night too, that she was saying on the feeds, like, she's a longtime viewer of the show, a super fan of the show. She's seen what's happened in previous seasons and, the way that this typically goes down. And she even said, like, yeah, of course I'm upset to be going home, but I have never seen a Final 8 like this. And just to be a part of a Final 8 that is like this, even if I am the one to go home, it's just really cool to be a part of this.
Yeah. Christian actually said something similar. He tweeted after this episode, which I thought was nice. People are saying people are saying nice things about it. There's a lot of people who are not.
Sure.
Also, but we'll focus on the positive. But yeah, just very, very big of Claire. It was just really, really cool. And I got to tell you, that certainly secured my vote for America's Favorite House Guest.
Ooh,
sorry, DX.
For Claire?
For Claire. Yeah, I was riding hard for DX, but the way she handled this, I know we better give that girl $25,000, okay? Okay, for that, that was really, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a double tomorrow, though.
Oh my God, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, there's a double. And we have to talk about what we're hoping for with that. We know we're gonna start off with Claire going out the door. But now after that, I was rooting for an Alyssa HOH, but now I'm not anymore. Oh, and the reason why I'm not, good. Yeah, let's get out of the Claire stuff. Let's get into this. I can't stand Xavier anymore. Okay, I'm done. I'm over.
I said to you, did I have blinders on the whole season and he's always been like this, and now I'm just realizing it, or did he all of a sudden this week become the worst person in the house?
I just made me think we're just now starting to see more of him. Now, okay. Because there's so many different ways to go with this. I was really, really angry at first with the way that he was acting, because I thought that he was being very childish.
Yeah.
But then, if he really has been throwing competitions and things like that, and now he's looking at Kyland and Tiffany, both with 2 HOH wins, to his 1, to us is 0, to Big D's 0. Not that necessarily all those zeros are because you intentionally threw it, right? We'll be honest. But then maybe, I guess I do get it a little bit then, because you guys are resume building and I'm not. And I wasn't for the good of the group. And now you're starting to you're already breaking into your individual thing.
And it is hard, if he is throwing it, to convince a jury, no, I lost all these competitions because I threw them. All right, prove it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'd like to actually, at some point, try to go back to, because I nothing really sticks out to me as some competition where we all knew Xavier's throwing this and it's crucial. You know what I mean? I can't even really remember any really significant times and I could be completely wrong. I could be just forgetting things, but
no, I agree.
I can't really remember
Kyle was
time.
saying yesterday. Like Kyle was saying yesterday, the only reason that we know he's been throwing is because in his DRs he said, "Well, I threw this."
Yeah,
but there's been nothing to show in the edit or on the feeds or anything like that, other than him telling us that he threw it. To say,
and everybody says that when they lose.
Yeah, and
it's so that doesn't really mean anything,
right? And that's what I keep wondering. I'm who's telling you to throw these competitions, and for what reason are they giving you?
Right.
I don't know.
Because now it just looks like you're just mad again because you're not keeping your person as long as you thought Tiffany was going to be keeping hers.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to listen to him say these things about oh yeah, Tiffany, that's what you get. That's what you get. And he's I want to blow her game up, all that stuff. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know, that while you're saying all these things while you're in her room, okay? Because that all went down in the HOH.
That was pissing a lot of people off. They were like, how how dare you conspire
dare
against
you?
Tiffany in her own
In her
HOH
own
room?
I just, I get
So
why
over
Xavier would want to throw this last HOH comp. That makes sense to me why he would want to throw that. But like,
Mhm.
I don't get the outrage over everything like that he's bringing this week.
No, it's all just too much.
He's acting as if Tiffany winning this HOH somehow has like completely destroyed the cookout beyond repair.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, maybe it wasn't the intended plan going into the week, but like everything's still on track. Yeah, you did have to be careful, I guess, with how you explained to Claire why she was going to be the one going up as the replacement nom. But like as we saw, if anyone was going to handle that gracefully, it was going to be our Claire,
But again,
Okay.
the only reason why he was concerned about the way it was explained to Claire was because he didn't want it to get back to Alyssa to piss her off, because then it would be bad for his personal game.
Right.
So like it didn't matter. Eventually the jury's gonna find out anyway. Like everyone's gonna know. So it didn't matter how she was explaining it to Claire, except that he didn't want it getting back to Alyssa for himself. It had nothing to do with the integrity of the cookout.
Right. And you know what? And then that's fine. That's fine. I think you do have a right to say those things. I think you do have a right to still protect your individual game, especially when you have sacrificed so much for the good of the rest of the group. However, just the way that he says these things, like just going on about how like not an option. Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
And
As
then
if
it's
like you're somebody's daddy. Like,
What gets me too is like, sure, paint it however you want to paint it to the people in the house. Don't BS us. We know what's happening. Like in the DRs, like, come on, give us a little bit of credit here. Like we know what's going on.
so what America knows. Yeah, America does know. We know. We know what's up. So cut the crap.
That's the problem. America knows.
What did you guys think of that conversation between Xavier, DF, and Azza, where they were going on and on about Tiffany, acting as if like they were so suspicious that she was going to put up another cookout member next to Xavier instead of Claire. Like I thought they were making such a big deal, and maybe you guys saw something on the feeds, but like I don't know why they were like so gung ho. Like, I swear, she puts up another cookout member. It's like, what has given you the indication that she's going to do that? Is there anything that was happening in the house that I didn't see?
I think it's just a combination of the men in the cookout have been conspiring against Tiffany, so now they're paranoid, and the men in the cookout have this men in the cookout versus women in the cookout mentality, so they assume the women must also be on that same page. Okay. I don't think there was any actual like merit to that. I don't think that anything really happened to justify feeling that way, other than just their paranoia.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Except that I would add that Tiffany has made it very it's very public knowledge how much she likes Hannah, and then there's Claire. I mean, that's 3. So I don't know. Is it? I mean, some of it is paranoia, but I do think there could be a little merit in the thought process. Not that I've seen anything that really like suggested that, but if I were them looking at that, if you're
really reaching for something, there are things that you can pick out, but I don't think that it's enough to really like justify an actual. Like, I don't think that Tiffany ever actually considered it.
Right.
No, I don't think she did either. But
and we
also get the DRs. We do get some extra information.
Right.
Yeah.
If I were them, I could see thinking that way too. But I'm also a very paranoid person. So
I also think that it's just a lot of it came from Xavier, who has been planning next week on taking a shot within the cookout. So he's been scrambling as soon as things stopped going exactly his way. So now I think he's just like, well, if I was going to do it, maybe she's going to do it. And it's like this weird,
Right, because you two really are the heads of the cookout, and you both kept your person. So,
that's been really irritating me too, especially in this edit, hearing the way that he was talking about Tiffany and like what it would mean if Tiffany did choose to go against the cookout. And it's like, that's kind of a ballsy thing to say when you are the person who is planning on going against the cookout. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of like projection on Xavier's part this week.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's like, oh, Tiffany must be up to all the things that I'm thinking about.
Well, I mean, isn't that what they say? Like people do, like, because this is how I behave, I expect other people to behave this way.
Yeah.
So even yeah.
Okay.
It's not always for the positive stuffs.
No.
It's so funny to me because like we hear him talking all the time about like, oh, these people better not find out I'm a lawyer. You must be the worst. How can you not keep your cool in any circumstance? Like, you should be able to have like some kind of a poker face as a lawyer, you know? Like,
You would think. Well, it depends on what kind of law we're practicing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable
Supposedly.
having him represent me in a court case. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I suppose it was like environmental law. And like, things don't get too heated. Unless they do. Like, let us know.
What do I know?
Please don't. I couldn't care less. But see, so this is why I'm not rooting for an Alyssa HOH, because I don't see, obviously, any world where Xavier could possibly go home tomorrow. And just because he's so overconfident.
Gets what he wants.
Yes, because he's so overconfident, I would just really love to see him go. So who do we think could possibly make that happen? It's only Hannah.
Unless, again, the only thing is like if Alyssa happens to win veto, and then they just stick Xavier up in her place, or someone if it's Xavier and Alyssa.
I don't know. So who do we want to win? That's the thing. I don't know who I want.
I know. Well, Tiffany can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany can't.
One person out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it could be any of the other 5 cookout members or Alyssa, right?
Yeah, and I don't want Alyssa. I don't want Xavier. I mean, that's for me. What do you want to see? It's tough.
I'm trying to think who would vote against him, but like now that you say it, he's got all of the men in the cookout in his pocket, and he has Alyssa.
Are we sure that he's got Kylan though? Like, are we sure? I feel like Kylan's going to flip flop on whatever side of the cookout gets the power.
Sure. No, I can see that.
I'd be so interested to see like a Xavier, Azza, Big D side, and then like a Kylan, Tiffany, Hannah side that ends up in the cookout.
I like that.
Just going after each other.
I like the looks of that, especially because that Xavier side is kind of light stuff. Azza, I don't believe she's been throwing.
Yeah,
they're not going to win. They're not going to win that side. Unless Alyssa stays in and Big D goes first. Like Xavier, Alyssa, and Azza on one side, and then Tiffany, Miss Hands, and
this is what I've been so interested in. Well, like once we start getting down to the 6, is I'm really not sure where a lot of these cookout votes are going to fall. Like once, let's say Alyssa does go in the double, what happens now? Who goes after who? It's like very convoluted and like.
And it's crazy too because after this double this week, literally 2 of the 6 will be gone by next week. So we can sit here and discuss what sides they'll take once they get to that 6, but like it's going to be down to a 4 like so fast. It's.
I mean, I personally, sure, I can see Kylan being the kind of person to like flip flop to whoever's in power, but I do think that the men's side of the cookout is a pretty solid 3. Like I don't know if I think he would go against that.
See, the issue that I have, well, not the issue I have with it, but I think the issue that it's presented with that is Azza. Because how hard is she going to ride for the women with Xavier?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, even that conversation that John was just talking about, it was the men of the cookout and Azza in that room.
That's a problem.
Because I was waiting, like when I was watching that part of the edit, I was like, okay, is this going to be like an Azza's a double agent? Now she goes and tells Tiffany everything that the guys were saying. But I mean, unless it happened on feeds and I missed it, we didn't see any of that.
I think, Azza's been close to Big D from the beginning because they were on the same team too. So she has 2 connections to the guys over there, that are between the crush on Xavier and that team tie from DF. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So nobody's really said who they want for HOH, though.
I don't know. I'm stressed out.
Yeah, I guess I don't have an answer either.
Here's the thing. Well, so it can't be Tiffany, and I feel like if it's anyone other than Alyssa, it's going to be a pretty uneventful second half of the double. You know what I mean? Like,
is there a chance if Xavier happens to win the HOH that he takes the shot at Tiffany anyway, or would he send Alyssa out?
oh, no.
I think he would put up Alyssa and Tiffany and let the chips fall where they may.
Wow.
Yum. But I don't want that because I really don't want Tiffany to possibly go.
Yeah.
I honestly, with the way that a lot of the Cookout members were feeling, I guess other than like Hannah, right? I could see Tiffany being on the block no matter what. They, at this point, they might just say, "All right, you know what? It's your turn now. We won't get rid of you yet, but it's your turn to sit up there."
Maybe. I mean, we haven't seen it.
If it happens this week, she'd only have to sit there for a night. So
Right. Well, I don't have anything else.
I'm so stressed.
I know.
I have stress.
I feel like there's probably other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but like my mind's just going like a million miles a minute right now, thinking about all these possibilities. And
the thing is, like, there's so many possibilities, but like it can all change like tomorrow. We have a lot to get into tomorrow, though. Tomorrow will be fun.
Honestly, I think that this is what I am rooting for the double this week. Okay,
let's hear it.
I don't think I want Alyssa to win. Oh no, I don't know if I want this actually.
Well, you gotta say it anyway.
I was like, I don't want Alyssa to win HOH, but part of me wants her to win Veto just to see what the hell would happen. But then I don't know if I want that to happen either. Then because then I also want to see the Cookout make it to their goal. So it's
right. This is tough because I do want the Cookout to make it to the goal because of what it stands for. But as a gamer, I really want some chaos.
Yeah.
I do really want to see some people scramble. Do I want to wait one more week?
I mean, we're still going to get the Cookout double no matter what.
We are.
I would. Part of me, the only reason that I would want to see Xavier win HOH in the double would be so that he, like, if the plan goes according to plan, then he would have to be the one to put up Alyssa and send her out. That's what I want him to have to be in that position.
I just worry that he won't. Like, I worry that he's going to take that moment and be like, all right, you know what, screw Tiffany. Like, that's that.
Exactly.
That's my only concern.
Well, that's where I came up with that whole Tiffany-Alyssa hybrid thing, just because for the same reasons that I think he would have to still put up Alyssa. I think he's got to. Because for the same reasons that Tiffany could not do Claire, he has to do Alyssa. Because then, like, the people in the Cookout are not going to vote for you now. So even if you do make it to the end, it's not going to matter. I think he has to put up Alyssa.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know. I just wonder if like his arrogance is going to get in the way of like, well, I mean, I know that all of the guys are on the same page as me. Like, people don't like Tiffany, so like if I get out Tiffany, then everyone will still be on my side because we've talked about how she went against us and won the HOH. You know what I mean?
I just feel like if you do that, whether it's Xavier or anybody, I feel like you are like the ultimate villain forever. Like,
not to the fan base. Like, I don't know who would be able to recover from the viewers at that point.
No.
So, and he kind of made a comment about that towards Tiffany in one of his DRs.
And that's what I was saying. Like, that's a really bold statement to make, considering you are the person who has been plotting all week to throw it to Alyssa to make sure that someone from the Cookout gets sent home.
Yes. Yeah.
He said something. It was like, America sees that, Tiffany, and they're not going to like it, or something like that. He said something along the lines
something
of that.
like if she puts up another Cookout member, like she's basically saying screw the culture or something like that is what he said.
Right.
Which is like, okay, all right. This whole thing is what she put together. Yeah, she's saying sweet culture. Okay.
Right, and that was the other thing is like, do they really think that Tiffany is going to go against the Cookout when Tiffany formed the Cookout? Like this
Right.
whole plan of getting the 6 to 6, correct me if I'm wrong, was Tiffany's idea.
As far as that's what I remember.
Yeah.
And if not, she is certainly the one who put in the whole
The partner.
shield with a partner
Yeah.
shield plan. Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we haven't seen that strategy employed before. Like we have, but like, you know, she did this flawlessly, you know, this worked out perfect. So I don't know. It's going to make tomorrow night very exciting.
Oh, yes.
Happy that Warren will be joining us again. So that's
Yay.
super exciting. And so tomorrow night is an hour? We're sure?
Yeah, that's what's confusing me too, because I know the second double is a 2-hour, but tomorrow night is just a 1 hour, and I don't know what the difference is.
I was reading that it was because that next week thing was not supposed to be a double. It was supposed
they were going to do a triple?
Yeah, and now because everybody flipped out, they said, no, just kidding. We'll give you 2 doubles. Yeah.
Huh.
That's what I'm hearing on the interwebs.
Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe it's an hour. Actually, I think I did look this up, actually, because I think there's like a CBS fall preview following the show tomorrow night. So you can tune into that. You want to see what CBS has coming up this fall?
Well, no, they got to tune into us.
Of course they will. They will. They're coming back because we're coming back. We're going to do Survivor. You heard it here first. We're doing Survivor. We're doing a few things. We'll tell you about it later. But Survivor is definitely happening. I guess you can tell them whatever you want to tell them. Who am I? Hold on. I'm still looking for it tomorrow. I can't figure it out. Whatever. I think it's 9:30. We'll be here.
Yeah, no, tomorrow's for sure an hour.
Okay. So it's an hour. They know enough. We've had enough. Everybody done?
I think so. It's a big night tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Thanks so much.